Are we out of danger for it being pulled down? I personally think so. You can't go forward, you can't go back. Help us.
Nothing's happened.
It's got worse.
What gets me is that, we're going to open the first-class stadium next year to the world media, and at the same time, they're going to take a picture of this and go, is this success? Is this the end of the earthquake era when your number one icon of the city is in ruins?
Well, you look at the vibrancy down at the river, then you look at the East Frame starting to fill up with housing, and then you come to the square and it's desolate. It's very rare in Australasian cities to have a square of this size. It's a very major civic space. What we're trying to do is to take that square and turn it into individual places that are all interconnected and woven together by water as a metaphor and as a narrative that weaves right through the space and round behind the cathedral. Remember, before the earthquake, the square wasn't working either. This was the opportunity to get it to work again.
What's the current status of the square? Is it being put back to what it was before the earthquakes, or is it going to have a new look?
We're giving it a new, refreshed look, working with the developers as they develop around the squares. We started close to the old government buildings. We're working around past the Spark building, past the old post office, so it's going to be better than what it was.
I think we also are recognising that we want it to become the heart of the city again, so while it's important to work in with the developers, it's also for the people of Christchurch.
There doesn't seem to be any plan. They're just doing ad hoc repairs on pavement around the edges of the square. There's no major inventive and creative moves.
It's hardly buzzing in this part of the town, is it?
It's not buzzing at all. In fact, because there's so few people crossing the road here that it's become a car shortcut.
Brent, will you have traffic running through the square in the new plan?
Those discussions are starting to happen now. We've certainly had some good feedback through from the development community as to what's important to them, so we'll just need to work through that and refresh the plan.
You do have a budget at the moment?
We do have budget in the long-term plan.
So how much have you got in the budget for fixing the square?
Off the top of my head, I don't have the figure.
You don't know?
In our concept, this area merged as a garden into the landscape of the cathedral, and that was the feedback we got from people, was that this area would be a green area, a place to get away into a garden with lots of native plants. And Spark at that time had offered to co-fund it as long as they got naming rights for it. And so these are the opportunities that haven't been picked up, because although they've come back, all they've done is redone the paving in a different pattern. And that's okay, but it doesn't bring people here.
Just remember, it's one of a number of squares in the central city. We have the very green squares of Victoria Square, Latimer, Cranmer, and this is another one, and they're all used in different ways, and people do appreciate that difference.
It's not about defending a design that was done in the past. It's about taking the truths that came out of the consultation and applying them to the space. And then the other aspect is we've now got the cathedral that is now accessible. And it's a fantastic structure even in its present form. And I think if they took the barricades down, the council gets on with doing the square, and people get access to different events in the cathedral, then the momentum for money to come in to complete the cathedral will increase.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Christchurch Cathedral. You are our invited special guests. So the champagne has been on ice, it's inside the cathedral waiting for you, and you're in for a special night. We're welcoming guests to this preview exhibition in Christchurch Cathedral, Ghosts on Every Corner.
So people can go inside the cathedral? A lot of Christchurch people say it's mothballed.
No, that was a headline that I did also read, but no, it's not mothballed, it's simply paused. We would like to bring as many people behind the fences and inside the cathedral as possible. The artist Ghost Cat, aka Mike Beer, spent about 3 to 4 years on this series, A Ghost on Every Corner. Each scratch build takes him about 7 to 9 weeks.
These are all buildings that are no longer.
So they're buildings that are no longer. So the idea of putting them into the cathedral, which is in quite a precarious time in its history, seemed to resonate really well.
I don't believe in a can't afford, because we can always afford things that we really see that are essential, like stadiums and other sports centres. And what price can we actually put on our history? That's really the crux of it.
I'm a donor. My family are probably the largest donors to the project to date. My parents donated 2 bells to the cathedral in the 1970s. One of those bells is called the Stewart family bell, and the other one is the R.H. Stewart family bell, which was my father. Unfortunately, those bells came down when the tower collapsed. They have been renovated and are now here ready to reinstall in a tower yet to be built.
Well, right now, it's desperate days.
It's not desperate. I mean, this is here indefinitely. It's not going away. Are we out of danger for it being pulled down? I personally think so, because of the amount of money that's already gone on it. But nonetheless, you can't go forward, you can't go back. Help us. It's a relatively easy thing to say, look, go away and get the church to fund it because it's their building. Actually, the liability's been offloaded to the church, and the benefit is to the citizens of Christchurch who have used it and continue to use Cathedral Square. If you come in here any day of the week now and have a look at how many tourists take a picture of the cathedral in any state, there's no question it is still a powerful icon for the city.
Where do you see optimism? I'm trying to find out.
I think what we've got to try to do is get the church, the council and the government all talking together about how to solve this problem. Right now, everybody is pointing at each other saying it's your problem to solve. Ultimately, that comes back to me as, well, Mark, you solve it, right? And I can't do that alone. We need to do that in conjunction with government, council and the church. So trying to get people in the same room to have this conversation is really difficult when you've got the government saying, we don't want to be part of the conversation.
Have you been asked whether you would fund it all?
Look, I think the suggestion of my involvement is that Mark Stewart will fund it, therefore it's not our problem, right? And I'm not prepared to entertain that. I am the largest donor. I'm giving all of my time towards this project. You know, just to write a cheque and to give Christchurch the benefit of it is sort of like, we're all in this boat together. The city is called Christchurch. It does have history. We have a Class 1 heritage building here right in the centre of Cathedral Square. It's been here since 1891. This was the centre of the universe as far as Christchurch was concerned. But ultimately, people have forgotten how important this Cathedral Square space was to our civic activity. Now, you know, most of the activity is down by the river. We have spent $150–60 million on fixing the river precinct, so there's no doubt that that would attract people down there, and it has. But ultimately, you know, Cathedral Square is just as an important a space for Christchurch, and without a completed cathedral in the middle of it, it's still the wasteland that it's been since the earthquake and will continue to be so.